I'm Shelley Horton and welcome back to Sports Stars Unplugged, powered by PainPod. Today I am super excited because we've got Brendan Crawley here. Now Brendan, as you can see, he's a real life cowboy.
Come on, cheer him on! Well, he's our first man, Brendan Crawley.
Brendan, tell me a bit about what you do.
My name's Brendan, and I compete in bareback riding in rodeos.
Are you insane? What made you get into it?
My family, I'm third generation cowboy, been doing it ever since I was a little kid.
Wow, and tell me a bit about how do you make a career out of that?
Slightly insane, I guess. I've had to give up a lot of things to do so, but I'm pretty happy about it.
So what sort of success have you had?
So this year I've just taken out the Pro Tour champion, so that's probably my biggest achievement. It was been a long career, a long year, I should say. But yeah, it's good.
That's amazing. And so what's the dream? Like, where do you go from here?
We was going to go to America, but we're expecting baby number 4 now, so we it's TV in the caravan. we was meant to go to America, but I think the 4th baby's probably going to pull us up a little bit there. So I guess we'll just keep kicking around Australia and keep chasing them Pro Tours.
Excellent. Now, I love the name of your kids because it just sounds like something out of Yellowstone to me. Tell us your kid's name.
So my oldest is Wyatt. Then I've got Colton, Tilden, and we don't know if the next one's a boy or a girl. So
we'll see.
Yeah.
So how hard is it to manage having a professional rodeo life and a family life?
Well, I'm very fortunate that I've got a amazing wife who literally schedules everything day to day. It is great. I'd never placed an entry into a single rodeo this season. She's incredible. She does everything. She manages the kids. She manages me. She packs my bags.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's great.
You married well.
Yes, I did.
She's the crazy one married you.
Yes.
So for people who don't really understand, what is it? Bareback riding, is that your specialty?
Yes, so bareback riding's, so we ride a bucking horse with a suitcase style handle that we wedge our hand into, and I've heard some people sort of describe it as wedging your hand into a suitcase type handle and holding onto a jackhammer.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And what, is it an adrenaline hit or why do you love it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we were brought up doing it, so I guess it's just comes natural to us, and I never really thought I'd see myself riding a bareback horse. I always wanted to be a bull rider, but that was a very short career, so yeah.
Why is that?
I got injured quite a lot. Yeah.
No wonder.
Yeah.
I think the clowns are just as, brave as the riders. You do that. So what sort of injuries are we talking about?
So I've ruptured my spleen. I lost 3.5 litres of blood internal, and I spent quite a bit of time in hospital there. I broke 8 or 9 ribs in total. I've dislocated my shoulder. I've done the tibia. Broke all the bones from the top of my foot. Winch fracture. What else? A few fingers. I tore my bowel. Just a little bit. I've been pretty lucky though. There's others that are worse. So.
You call that lucky?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, it makes sense that you're a PainPod ambassador.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit how you use the PainPod.
The first time
Is there a whole body one? That's what I made.
I need it. I kind of use it after an event or after training as well. Obviously we're kind of pretty sore and tight after we get off a bucking horse, so I like to use the gel pads because they're pretty easy. I kind of put them on my bicep there. That normally gets pretty tight and tense, and I can kind of maneuver them anywhere around the body, and they work best for me.
Excellent. And with you, like how many places do you use it on? Just about everywhere.
Pretty well everywhere. Majority, my main spot's definitely my riding arm, over my traps and down into my lats. A lot. Most of the time there. I did have a lot of trouble with my knees, and I was lucky enough the PainPod actually had a knee brace, and they sent me that, and I put it on, and I've been walking around fine and not hobbling around anymore, so yeah.
Now, you're an ambassador for them, but you're a straight shooter. So if it didn't work, you wouldn't be saying that it does. You're a fan.
Yeah, definitely a fan. So, I mean, the first time I used it was at Warwick Rodeo. I seen they had a paint pod advertisement there, and I didn't really know what it was. I just thought it was like a little tent with a paint pod. So
Yeah.
I went in, and the guys were like, "Oh yeah, put it on." And whatever, it's work, and tried everything before, and I put it on. About 15 minutes later, I was like, "Oh wow, like, this isn't too bad. I might buy one of these." And yeah, ever since I use it religiously. It's great.
Fantastic. And you tell your mates and that about it too.
All the time. All the time. They always ask me like what it does and how do you use it, and the easiest way is to explain it, just put it on and try it. And everybody that's tried it, they've 100% their end. So
Love it. Now let's go back a bit and tell me when you first decided to become professional in this sport.
So a couple of years ago, I was riding with a different rodeo association, and I've rode with them my whole career. And the professional rodeo association, they're kind of more so around my area, so I thought it made sense to kind of swap over. And it's been my first year in it, and I've been lucky enough to have a really good season, and I got tapped off with the first rodeo. And
Just tapped off, mate.
tapped off, so like, I mean, I won the first rodeo.
You won?
I got a good start to the season, so that kind of put me in front, and I was like, well, heck, why don't we go for a pro tour and a rookie title? So 12 months later, it's end of season, and I've won both. So yeah, very happy.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, something that you always feel is important is to pass down your information to some of the younger riders. Why do you think it's important to help those who are on the rise?
Well, I mean, when I was first starting, there kind of wasn't really many people that would help, and I wanted to be that person that people would come to for advice. And I mean, I love seeing people do good, and I want to see our sport grow. So, I mean, if anybody's out there wanting to try it, I'm all for it.
That's fantastic. And what do you think is the secret to your success?
Definitely a good relationship. By far, hands down. If I did not have that woman, I'd be lost.
What's her name?
Keisha.
Keisha.
Keisha Crawley now. So yeah, no, definitely having good people around you, and you got to get into training. You got to train. You can't. The days of old school cowboys smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol, it doesn't work. So
you're an athlete.
pretty well, yeah.
Yeah, right. And do you think that people see you as an athlete?
I'd like to think so. Yes. Especially with the younger fellas, like I try and steer them away from the alcohol, and we do a lot of training at the rodeos as well. So yeah.
And it is one of those things, because you are doing the circuit, you get to meet a lot of new people and get to sort of, guide them a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I mean, we're meeting people. We travel literally all the way around Australia. So yeah, it's crazy the amount of people we meet.
Yeah. And what are some of the most common things people ask you, the younger kids?
Geez, I don't really know.
What, like how much does it hurt, or...
Well, I mean, everybody doesn't really want to ride bareback horses. They call it a suicide event.
Oh.
It does sort of deter a lot of people, but I try to explain them it's not really that bad. Like, I mean, once you do it, you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's, people skydive, people do lots of crazy things.
Yeah, I've tried that. I don't think I'll do it again.
Yeah, I've done it. It's all right. I think I'd rather skydive than get on a bucking bronco. Okay, so to wrap up, what advice would you give to someone who's considering getting into this sport professionally?
Definitely get yourself a good coach. So I'm very, very fortunate that I train with a company in America, and they specifically train cowboys. And I mean, without them, I'd be screwed as well. Get a good coach. Practice. If you can get to a school, definitely get to a school. And
so there's a cowboy school.
Yes, yeah. So
tell me about that.
Like rodeo schools.
Rodeo school.
Most people hold a rodeo school. The company I'm training with in America, they've got one coming up soon. They're flying over to do that, and it's for beginners to advanced. It's brilliant.
Is that how they decide who they want to sponsor or, get on board? They find the young ones as their
Kind of.
right? Sort of. That's what it's a business.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, very true. Yeah.
And it's a pretty brutal sport. How many years do you reckon you've got left in you?
Oh, well, I mean, now that I've got the pain pot on the side, hopefully a lot more. No, I mean, there's a couple of really good cowboys that are still going down there over their 40s. So, I mean, still got a bit.
How old are you now?
I'm 28.
You got plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
You got the pain pod to support you. You'll be fine.
That's right.
Brendan, thank you so much for your time. This is absolutely fascinating. Now, just before we finish, how true is like watch Yellowstone and those sort of cowboy movies to reality?
Am I gonna get
yeah.
picked on if I say I've never watched it?
It's one of my favorite shows.
I've seen like snippets on Facebook and all that.
That's it.
Yeah, no, I haven't really. We don't really have time. Like we got kids and we're always.
You're too busy making kids. I'm gonna suggest you just watch a bit more TV, a few more cowboy shows.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.